What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime. Welcome back to another video. In this video, guys, I am here to bring you all my review of Mayoiga episode 3. So let's get right into it. So in this episode of Mayoiga, we finally get introduced to our first character death of the series. So this is episode 3 of Mayoiga. Before I go on the specifics of what was contained within this episode, let me just state how I feel about Mayoiga since we're already around the 3rd episode of the series. Now, Mayoiga to me, it's been pretty average, to be honest with you, but maybe I only think it's average because of the fact that, you know, it has a slow pacing. And usually series that have slow pacings, could turn off some viewers, However, like, I'm giving it a shot. I'm really, taking my time with the series because I know it's going to be slow, because it's going to build up the suspension of the series and then finally, pretty much bring you into a what the fuck moment sort of situation. We already have a first character death and stuff has already been building up since the beginning, so good job on that. I'm just pretty much saying that pretty much my overall enjoyment of the series has been, I guess, pretty average, and I just need to see more from the series in general. But I will say this, Mayoiga definitely was creepy in this beginning portion of episode 3. It really was. We have it to where the rest of the group is pretty much within the woods. They're looking for one of their members, and then all of a sudden an eye appears in the middle of a forest, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Because it seems that they used CGI with the eye, and I guess that's what made it more creepier in my personal opinion. But yeah, that was whack. So yeah, and then the rest of this episode technically was like, what the fuck is going on, It had that one little creepy scene in the beginning of the episode, but the rest of the episode is pretty much like, what the fuck? What's going on here, Because really what we see throughout the entirety of the episode is pretty much the mental breakdown of our characters. I mean, members within the group are pretty much breaking down left and right. We have it to where some, still want to reside within the village because they believe that everything will settle down eventually, but then you also have other members within the group that are pretty much turning against themselves, and some of them want to, leave the village because they state that ever since they got here, things have been chaotic, and they just want to leave and hopefully, be a lot safer than in the situation that they are in now. Now, we learn in this episode about one specific character named Jack. I think his name was Jack. I could be wrong, but I guess his actual name is Sasaki-san. Now, it turns out that this character was actually a juvenile delinquent back in the day, where he actually ended up going to jail for ended up stabbing a kid, another classmate at his school. So automatically you're going to assume that this kid probably has the potential to actually kill people, and this makes him an automatic, murderer. What if, specifically, okay, because it would be too easy if this kid, has the potential to kill everybody, and if he has the potential to have even gone out of his way to kill the rapper dude who we found out at the end of this episode died. I think it would be too easy for us to actually say that he is the killer, Sure, he does have the most potential, especially to what he did to the other Jack, but it would be too easy to declare that. So, in my personal opinion, who could have done it? Either it's paranormal activity, because we do see some sort of weird, monstrous type of actions going on, especially with the claw marks. People are saying it's a bear. Maybe it's a Yeti, for all we know, because, Yetis usually live up in the mountains, and that's technically where they're at, so maybe it's that. Or it could possibly be someone within the group, maybe even our main male character, Musume. We don't really know. And the only reason why I would say that is because in that episode 1 scene with the whole basketball, the symbolism behind that was to have, if you contain your emotions and you do not express them and you just hold them in, you will eventually blow up. You'll explode. In other words, your character will pretty much, break down. And so we do see that a little bit from pretty much the other members within the group, pretty much actually a lot of the members within the group in this episode. However, we haven't really seen too much of it from Musume, because Musume, he's a character that is not really freaking out. In fact, he's actually standing up for some of the members, even the criminal. So if anything, that is what is wrong within the group of, Mayoiga. Musume is probably the most messed up out of the group, because he is actually, taking everybody's side who is a criminal and who has done criminal activity in the group. So I don't know. I don't know who exactly could be the character. For all we know, it could be a supernatural being or a yeti or something like that. Or maybe even, it could be our main male character, Musume. Now, I will say this. What we got in the end of the episode, we see that the rapper guy ends up dying, but we see that character named Love Pun, I think that is the name of this character. She goes batshit insane. She is insane. As I stated before, pretty much, most of the members within the group are losing their cool. Some of them are mentally broken down as it is, and some of them have already started to break down. Love Pun, she is definitely a character that has been mentally broken since the beginning of the series. There is something really messed up within her head. However, as I stated before, these characters that are the most likely candidates to commit murder, which is Love Pun, and then Jack, these two characters right now seem like they could be ones to actually go about killing the other members of the group. However, when it comes to their character, I think it would be too easy for them if they were considered the actual murderers of the group. It could actually be something that is completely throwing us through a loop, and actually maybe the actual character is actually Musume, since he is technically the most sane one within the group, and he is not overreacting to these certain situations that are going about within the group in general. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what is in store for Mayoiga episode 4. So yeah, when it comes to this episode of Mayoiga, it was pretty decent. It really was. And it looks like things will start to pick up in the coming episodes to come, because now actually it seems that people are starting to die off one by one by one. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this episode of Mayoiga in the comment section down below. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to stick up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. I love you all, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.